My name is Vahid Chitsaz, part of the Elite Mastermind group. Thank you for being here this morning. I apologize. I was late 4 minutes.
You know what? Great to meet you, and I'll give you a little bit of slack today.
Thank you so much. I love your book cover. Q got the cover, and I'm like, this is probably the best. I love it that you have it.
Thank you.
I love that color. I love the color. I love everything about it. When you opened it, it felt right. I wanted to read the book myself, but you only send one copy. So Q got it. She's not sharing it with me, so I'm probably forced to go buy it on Amazon.
You know what? I wouldn't mind that at all.
So listen, you have done so much in your background. I was looking at your Instagram account. I don't know how to introduce you, so I think you should do the honor and just introduce yourself, because you've been on the cover of the fitness magazines 10, 15 times. I mean, you got a lot of things happening. You're an author, you got your own book. I mean, a lot of people are following you, and you got some serious followers. These guys will take bullets for you. So how did you get started? What's your journey and what's your motto? Talk to us about that.
Well, thank you so much. My name is Tiffany Lee Gaston. I am a freelance writer. I'm also an author of this book, From Broken to Badass, Turning My Pain into Power. I decided to write this book after being involved in the fitness industry for several years, and just really wanted to showcase my backstory and where I came from and how I got here. And I think the common notion is that, you know, you're in shape, you're always in shape, you've never had a challenge with weight, you know, but the bottom line is I really did have struggles growing up, and I did battle an eating disorder, and I've been through plenty of hard challenges as well. So I really wanted to be transparent and raw and real and share that with my followers.
Awesome. I mean, when you wanted to come up with the book, I mean, that's an amazing title right there. So just the badass part, I love. So walk us through that. How did you come up with that title? What made you write it? And what was the tipping point where, like, I'm writing this?
I think a lot of people set out to write a book, or at least have a dream to do it. And for me, my creative zone is always my writing, and just going, you know, whether it's a dark place or sharing something hurtful from my past, to release it. And so for me, I just thought it was a really great opportunity to showcase another side of me and something a little bit more relatable. And through that, I've had a lot of great feedback with people saying, you know, I've suffered similar things. I've been in an abusive relationship. I just really have come full circle from my youth and a lot of the challenges I had. And I wanted to use this as a stepping stone and as a tool for others to see that they could do the same. And, you know, really just my challenges have forged something different in me. I decided I wasn't going to lay down and die, and I just wanted to take my power back. And I gave myself a voice in doing that. So for that, I'm grateful that I've had the response and just even the interest. And the bottom line is I really hoped that it would be beneficial for even one person.
That's awesome. So if you had to give us the summary, I'm trying to cheat over here and get a summary out of you so I don't have to read the whole entire book. I got so many books that I got to read.
It's only 200 pages. Come on, you can do it.
I'm being honest with you. Just this month, I think I've been given like 14 books. And I was telling my wife the other night, I was like, I literally don't know what to do. She's like, what do you mean? I was like, I got more books that I could read in a year. Like, I don't know what to do. You need to help me read some of them. Summary, give me I promise people I'm going to read the books and use some of the content, talk about it. I'm stuck. So I'm going to stop promising people I'm going to read their books. But give us a summary. I would love to know what is in the book. What can we expect as far as readers go?
So as a young girl, I've always been an athlete. I grew up as a gymnast. And so I developed on the frame of, you know, a tiny little brick shit house, essentially. And for me, you know, I had dreams and aspirations of modeling and being an actress, and I did go down that route. But ultimately, you know, I looked different, and I always looked athletic. And until I truly learned to embrace that and work that into something that was beneficial for me, I was fighting an uphill battle. So that led to body dysmorphia, that led to anorexia, that led to being, you know, 12 years old, 80 pounds, and my parents really making the observation at that time that I was unhealthy physically and very much mentally. I will say, like, through a lot of counseling and therapy to retrain my brain and have a better understanding for why I felt different, but to turn that into something that I could use as my own kind of superpower, and just, you know, embrace what made me different. I was always going to be fighting that uphill battle, so I channeled that into, you know, more sports and more just embracing my natural gifts athletically. That ended up, you know, leading me to, I ran track and cross country when I was in high school. And ultimately I found a love and a passion for reading fitness magazines. And I really saw myself in the women on the pages of those magazines. So when I had that shift, it allowed me to see myself in a different light and embrace what made me different and unique. And now, like, I cheer that, you know, I scream that loud and proud to everyone. And, you know, I want our young, impressionable women and men and kids to just embrace what makes you different, because that is your gift, instead of always feeling like it's, you know, something that people will bully you over, or all the different routes that, you know, things happen these days. So
I got two
really
questions.
twist it, you know?
Who's been your biggest supporter throughout this journey so far?
Well, my husband, for sure. You know, I got married very young. I was married at 21, and we met, and he took me basically out of a very abusive relationship that I was also in back at that time. So I do share that in my book as well. But there's been a lot of struggles that have molded and shaped me into the woman I am today. And so, you know, I choose to look back and reflect on those times as it was challenging for sure, but it's the reason I am the woman I am today. So I have to embrace that fully.
Tiffany, what's his name?
My husband?
Yeah.
John.
John. Okay. Thank you, John, for being so supportive. We love John. We should get John on our
John. Yes,
show.
we do. He's also known as
So my
Silver
second
Fox.
question, is he there?
No, he's not here right now, no.
Okay, cool. I was gonna say put him on. So okay, you gotta. I don't know if it's a yoga pose or if it's a fitness pose, but don't make fun of me when I ask this question. You got a pose that you go on your elbows right here, and then one foot is. How long would it take me to do that?
I don't know your athletic ability, so I can't really answer.
Athletic ability, let's say 1. Scale of 1 to 10, just 1.
Are you strong?
Because I looked at that and it looked so. I was like, there's no way on this planet that I will be able to do that with my legs on my, I mean, there is no way that I'm going to do that. So I was staring at that for about 3 minutes. And I'm like, this, I give so much respect, just the fact that you could do that. I was like, wow, wouldn't that be something nice that if I could do that? So I'm not going to try that. I'll probably break something.
Well, I do love when people send me like side-by-sides of myself doing my inversions and then their attempt. It's usually pretty interesting. Very entertaining.
No. We'll keep yours. There will be no side. We're not going to do that. I'm not going to send
do
you
that with me. Oh, come on.
It was. I mean, it looked really nice, good, and I was like, wow, you could do that. And then it looked also to me painful. I was like, I don't know if I could hold my 200 pounds like that on my. I don't think these arms were built for that position. So it was pretty cool.
We train the brain, we train the body. You can do it.
I guess so. That's why I was asking, like, if someone that hasn't been to the gym or they don't do that on routine basis or they're not being that flexible, like, what would you say how long it would take?
What I would say is you might not want to try this at home.
I'm not going to try it at home.
I just think daily, incrementally daily building strength and, practicing against a wall or what have you, there's a lot of yoga websites where people can find technique on getting into that position and holding it and, building strength in that. So
what is that position called?
I do a few different ones and I don't always know. I just call them inversions, but there's a scorpion where your legs are hooked over. There's tons of different names, but yeah.
Well, what is the benefit of that?
It's fun to be upside down.
Oh, okay. That's okay. I didn't know. I thought there was some other reasoning behind it that they do those moves, because those are not easy. I mean, I'm pretty sure it will take me many, many years of practice to be able to go. And that's another thing that I wanted to ask you. What gives you the drive, or what gave you the drive, even though you were going through challenges, turbulences, for you to stick to the path that you were going?
Because there's one thing I've always been, and it's a stubborn, bullheaded girl. Like I say this a lot lately. I never hear no, because if you don't ask, automatically the answer is always no. So why would you do yourself a disservice and not go after everything in life that you want? And if you meet a challenge, you need to retrain your brain to overcome that and find a new way to get there. you know, that's just been my sort of course for getting here this whole way is, you know, just focusing on the next thing, the next goal. I'm constantly goal setting, small, measurable goals. I love nothing more than like documenting it on a Word document and like crossing it out. It shows you where you've come from. It shows you your growth. It shows you when you think you haven't succeeded at things, you can look back and reflect upon what you've really accomplished. And I think, you know, going into a new year, so many people set resolutions and intentions. And unless you really follow up on that regularly, I don't see it as being as beneficial in the long run, because by the end of January, so many people have already fallen off their, you know, their new gym routine, if you will, and it's evident everywhere. So small, measurable goals, follow up on it, chase it hard, do whatever makes you happy. Like, I just kind of live by that philosophy.
Awesome. Awesome. Love it. Ms. Tiffany, I really, really appreciate you being on with us today. I'm definitely going to be reading that book, and I'm going to get a little bit more. And the reason why I tell you I want to read that book is because of this. I do see a lot of female entrepreneurs upcoming, and it's just getting a lot more, and I love it because they bring a lot of diversity, and I love it to work around a lot of different females because they look at things differently than I look at.
Right.
And they got the eye for a lot of different things, whether that would be social media, whether that would be communicating with people in different languages. They're able to sense the communication level is just on a different level. I mean, I get them to tell me, well, did you catch this? I'm all like, no, did you catch that? They're like, yeah, this is why she did this, or this is why he did that. I'm like, how did you get that? Like, that's crazy. It's like the sixth sense they bring into it. So I'm going to read that book because I know that a lot of them are struggling with their weight and the way that they perceive themselves, and they take other people's opinion really in.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find out different methods to help them or be the bridge. Connection between individuals that could help them not to go through that. Because if they could just put that aside, oh my God, they could do so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
These individuals are so powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, they could conquer the world if they wanted to. So if I can do anything to empower them, that's why I'm dedicating my time to read the book. So we could at least do that.
Thank you. I think that's pretty great. Yes. For sure.
I appreciate you being on. Thank you so much. Hopefully we'll get to do this more often. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Have a great rest of
Take care.
your night.
Say hello to John too.
I will. See ya.
Take care. Bye-bye.